you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Coming here with another great super podcast so we can share all the wonderful things we're learning all the times. And, of course, we need to cue the famous Iron Lady. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. She's always there for us on all the right moments. So, as always, we bring you the most smartest people, the brilliant minds of the show. All the people that, as you get to know them, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so much smarter because of these wonderful, brilliant authors we have on the show. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss one on the TikTokity. And if you want to buy me a coffee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Chris Voss. As I always say, people are the sum of all their stories collected on their journey through life. Stories are the fabric of who we are, and we have somebody who's coming on the show to share who she is and her amazing hot new book that's just off the presses, February 27th, 2024. It's called Purposeful Health, an Intentional Guide to Personalized Wellness by Katie Molumby. She's going to be joining us on the show to talk about it and give you the insights and stories of her life. She's a certified health coach and author of the best-selling book aforementioned. She specializes in helping individuals bring intentionality to their health and wellness practices. Does intentionality include McDonald's? We'll find out. Katie combines her background in social work, mental health, psychology, and integrated nutrition to guide you to think for your health. Welcome to the show. How are you, Katie?
I'm doing very well. Thrilled to be here, Chris. Thanks for having me.
There you go. And we're thrilled to have you as well. Congratulations on the book. Give us your .coms. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Absolutely. Purposefulhealth.com is my website.
There you go. And so give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside your new book?
Yes. There's over 150 different topics about life. It's all meant to bring everything back to how it's impacting your health. So I think there's a lot going on in the world that we don't really think relates back to our health and wellness. And this book is meant to get you to think about it.
Think about your health, darn it. Why do people sometimes forget about their health and not pay attention?
You know, it's a very fast-paced life we live in. I think we are bombarded with a lot of success stories and, you know, magic fixes, you know, like a magic pill that's going to fix everything for us. And I want people to really start thinking about their own life and apply individuality to their health and wellness practices rather than copying and pasting what works for someone else.
Definitely. It's, it's using, everyone's kind of different with their genetics, right? So copying and pasting what's working for other people might not work good for you, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. Let's talk about your upbringing. How did you get into this field? How did you grow up and what got you interested in health?
Yes. So I grew up on a pretty standard American diet. Lots of McDonald's, fast food, meat and potatoes. I grew up loving McDonald's, to be honest. And what sparked an interest and kind of woke me up a little bit was watching the show Super Size Me. I'm not sure if you've seen that. That really started getting some wheels spinning for me. And I gave up McDonald's on the spot. And around that same time, I went through a health crisis myself, which I know you can kind of relate to. I was a freshman in college, first time on my own, and I started having alarming stomach issues. Wow. And went to the doctor dozens of times and felt, kind of undermined. I was kind of fed fiber and laxatives and stool softeners, and the doctors didn't really ask me anything about my lifestyle or diet choices to begin with. So I felt very frustrated. I eventually kind of demanded to see a specialist who was able to see that it was physically something wrong with me, and I had a surgery to correct it. But that is really what inspired me to become a health coach and help others become an advocate for their own health and wellness as well.
There you go. What you put in your body, what do they say? Losing weight begins in the kitchen or something like that, or,
Absolutely.
Basically what you put in your body. If it's in your house, it's in your mouth. That's the one rule I live by. So don't bring it home. That's always a good one. But, some of these different things. So how long have you been doing this? How long has your journey been being a health coach now?
Yeah, I've only been doing this for about 4 years. I've been in social work for over a decade.
Mm-hmm. So you're pretty natural to fit for helping people and coaching them and all that good stuff. So when you talk to people and you're shaping, a health plan for them, I guess that's what you do. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's part of what we do. Yes.
Yep. And giving the coaching and all that stuff. How do you help them change? I mean, evidently there's more than just changing the food on their menu. It's mindset, personal accountability, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, I'm not trying to pretend like I have all the answers for anyone. I really approach everyone with an open mind, and I try to be as curious as possible. And I know you've talked about loving being curious. I think asking the right questions can get us a long way with helping people really understand where they are, what they need to change, and what they want for themselves going forward. So that's my magic ingredient with my coaching, is asking the right questions.
Definitely. And having the right mindset for it too. The one thing I learned, I was always trying to lose weight. And of course I really wasn't when it came down to it, but I thought I was. And, I was like, maybe I'll eat an apple today on top of all the fast food shit I'm going to eat, and half a bottle of vodka with Mountain Dew as a chaser, and 15 Mountain Dews a day, 10 to 15 Mountain Dews a day. It was pretty insane at the time.
Golly.
Yeah, and I'm surprised I lived through any of it, or that I even have health. But it was a fun ride, I guess. I don't know. But I lived through all that stuff, and I'd eat an apple, and I'm like, this didn't help. What the hell? And I read the book Presto by Penn Jillette, and it really changed my life, because in it was more so about him changing his mindset and his rules and regulations around food that were limiting him. It wasn't just about eating right. It was about changing what was going on in his brain. And by mimicking some of that stuff, it really helped me, and I started having these epiphanies where I just wake up one day and realized how much I'd been conned by, the food pyramid, and how much I'd been conned by advertising companies that are like, you should drink Mountain Dew. It's good for you. And realizing that I just turned myself into this chemical dumping station of a super site dump of toxic chemicals, just like the EPA does for all these companies. I was shoving Oreos and Doritos and everything in my mouth, and I even had rules. Like, one of my rules was, when I go to the store and I buy healthy food, I get a reward. So it was like a Mountain Dew and a candy bar to drive home with, and it was like something from my childhood imprint, where my mom would be like, if you're good at the checkout counter, we'll give you a reward and get you, a little treat. And so here I am, 40 years old, treating myself like some kind of child. And I'm like, and it's not even treating. It's, okay, here's a bag of poison and a can of poison. Here's your treat. Thanks. So I realized that mindset was really, like, it was everything. It was really important.
You're so right. One of the chapters of my book is called Health is an Inside Job, and it talks all about that. I spent a lot of time feeling like I was doing all the right things and not losing the weight, not getting the results I wanted. And really it was because the way I was talking to myself, the justification behind what I was doing was off. I wasn't moving from a place of true self-love, unconditional love and understanding. It was kind of like shame and blame and punish myself into doing the right things. And that's never a sustainable way to make change in your life.
There you go. Yeah, because it's not very motivating. And when you feel good, I started feeling better, eating better, and feeling well, and then seeing the weight just drop off the scale. I mean, I was just like, okay, this is fun now. And, at first I quit the Mountain Dews, and then I started making salads and kind of became veganese. So I don't even know what venue of the 50 trillion variations of veganism there is. And anytime I try and identify one, I get sued by some group. Anyway, boy, they get militant about it. They really do. They're like, no, if you had eggs, then you're over here, and then if you eat fish, you're over here. And it's like, all right, I ate more salad. Okay, does that make people happy?
You're a plant lover. It's okay.
Yeah, at least for I was gay for the stay, basically. Now I still eat salads, though not quite as much because I'm lifting weights. But I lost 100 pounds in
Wow.
3-4 months, really fast.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I mean, women hated me online because I would post my scale every morning, and I'd drop like 3 to 4 pounds. But I mean, that's how heavy I was. I was almost 400 pounds, and I'd been drinking so much Mountain Dew. I was probably just, I don't know, half my fat was Mountain Dew fat. So it was just falling off of me, but it makes all the difference. You talk about how you delved into over 150 areas of health over 10 months, traditional self-care practices and other things, social work, psychology, mental health, and nutrition. What were some of the things you found, and how did that shape your work?
Absolutely. I found that health is a lot more than just what we eat. It's a big part of it. Exercise is another big part of it, but there's a lot more to it. I think a lot of people, again, we're fed so much on social media these days, and just the world we live in. We see someone thriving and healthy, and we think, I'm going to do exactly what they're going to do, and I'm going to get the same results. And most people end up feeling very defeated shortly after. It's not sustainable for them and their preferences or their lifestyle in general. Really just taking in, this book will get you to examine over 150 different areas of life. I mean, are you a jealous person? Do you have competitive nature? What traumas do you need to heal from? It really just I'm not pretending to have all the answers, but I get you to think about a wide array of topics and how they can be impacting your health and the way you're living your life.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that. Traumas could affect how you're eating and stuff. I know one thing about people that are in rehab is a lot of and people that are overweight is a lot of them experience sexual trauma as a child. And so one of the reasons they become overweight is they're trying to make themselves unattractive to potential assaulters. It's kind of like a defense mechanism in some way. And then, of course, they're eating over the anxiety and the unresolved trauma and stuff. But I never thought about that. Wow, yeah. I mean, people probably use food as a way to cope sometimes.
Absolutely.
Mechanism.
Absolutely.
And, definitely a reason to get into therapy. But I never thought of it that way. I mean, I was probably coping with some of my childhood trauma and just coping with, I don't know, me being a jerk. Most of the times by eating, it's crap. That the dopamine that you get from, these fast food meals and stuff are chemically made to basically give you dopamine hits, just like heroin or, any one of these drugs that are out there on the market. Not that I take any, but they're designed to hack your brain and trigger those responses to where you're like, I want more.
Absolutely. Yep. The scientists are doing their jobs. They're making it as addictive as possible and giving us that immediate dopamine hit with making it taste as good as possible. It's bright colors, artificial flavors that are going to pop and your eyes are going to think, wow, that looks delicious.
Yeah. I mean, Mountain Dew's got that bright, radioactive sort of color, and they always have Baja Blast is kind of cool looking, and you're just like, that looks like fun to drink. Let's put that in my stomach. And
absolutely.
An hour later, you're like, I used to live on like Tums and Rolaids like 24/7, especially at night. I was always like 5 or 6 times a night rolling over in bed to grab some Rolaids. Just my stomach was being eaten alive. I think for a lot of years, I think I damaged at one point that little flipper that's on your stomach that seals in all the stuff that's in your stomach. And for a long time, I couldn't sleep. If I ate too soon, I couldn't sleep on my right side, I believe, or else it would all come up somewhere in the middle of the night. Now that's all seems to have healed up, or I don't know, I'm just died inside probably. There you go. Miracle. Yeah. But, I seem to have really good health. So either I'm going to be one of those people who has really good health all their life, and then one day I'm just going to fall off a cliff, or I don't know, a bus will hit me tomorrow. So why is it important to have a health coach and not try and do all this stuff yourself?
Absolutely. You can try. I would say there's nothing against trying to do it on your own, but I think all of us at some point in our life could use a health coach. Mm-hmm. The stuff we're getting at the FaceTime with our doctors is very minimal. They're not really going to be able to dive into your lifestyle choices in that 15 minutes or less of that conversation that you're going to have with your doctor, and a health coach and really cover all of those areas that you're not going to get with your doctor. What are you eating? How are you sleeping? How are your relationships? All of the things that are outside of taking a pill and, having a diagnosed condition. The health coach can really bridge those gaps. I'm not against doctors. I'm not, diminishing your need for a doctor by any means. I collaborate with doctors. I want to help them write a care plan for their patients, and I want to help them the client's patients follow through with those. So I hold my clients accountable. I bring that accountability and motivation piece, but the doctors they're not trained on how to assess lifestyle choices or how those are going to impact health overall. They're going to make a diagnosis and treat with a medication most likely. So
yeah, they're mostly just always throwing the pills at you instead of, a lot of the, like I said, I was going through a lot of Rolaids, and, I probably could have went to the doctor and said, hey, I'm going through a lot of Rolaids. Do you have something prescription level, that could fight off all this Mountain Dew I'm drinking? And, they probably would have given me something that, I don't know, man, it has some side effects or something. And in reality, the doctor should just, said to me, hey, dummy, it could be the Mountain Dews, you idiot.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's start there with the case of Mountain Dew a day.
Yeah. And that's what I did. And then, all of a sudden I noticed the Rolaids bottle one day sitting in the drawer, and I'm like, I haven't touched that in months. Oh, it was all the crap I was eating, and I started eating salads and eggs and doing what I call live fresh foods, where I only would go around the store part where there's the live fresh foods, and that's all I'd buy, and then I'd leave. And that was another trick I had. Don't go down the aisles, the bad aisles. Stay on the outside of the store where the live food is.
I love that. That's good. That's a good method.
Yeah. So what about exercise and weight? How do you help people not only with diet, but help keep them on track with exercise and weight?
Yeah, everyone's different, but it starts with really figuring out what you enjoy. A lot of people will go to a personal trainer, and nothing against personal trainers. They're wonderful if you're learning certain exercise moves, but I really help you figure out what lights you up, what's going to be able to be sustainable for you because you actually enjoy it. So I used to try to force myself to run. I was never consistent with it because I hated running. But I started actually doing what I love, which is dancing, anything like with music going. I can get my body, in sync with the music, and I could do that for 8 hours a day. When you love what you do, it's going to be easy to keep up with it. Also, taking into account everyone's different lifestyles. Some people force themselves to go to the gym, and they'll drive half hour, 45 minutes one way to go to a gym, and they spend so much time on the drive that they only do it once or twice a week. And really, there's capability for anyone to find a pretty easy and effective workout routine right in your own home. So really trying to figure out what's going to make it the most sustainable for you and the easy to access.
There you go. I have a treadmill at home, and then I have some little weights. And so if I can't get to the gym or something, then I'll try that. I usually like to go at night when, a lot of people, they don't like to go to the gym. They feel intimidated. I think a lot of women don't like going to the gym because, there's a bunch of weird guys looking at them, and, sometimes that competitive nature with women and stuff. And, I always go to the gym, man. Whenever I see somebody really large like me walking around, and I used to be larger when I go to the gym, and, you can tell they're not regulars at the gym. They're not your usual people that are there. I think they should have like somebody who goes around and gives those people a hug and says, we're proud of you for showing up, man. Keep showing up, because those folks need that. I know how hard it is when you start going to the gym and every day you're like, I don't want to go again. And one of the tricks I learned is I just go to the gym. If I don't feel like I'm in the mood, I just go. And I go, okay, great. You feel like shit. So we're going to go sit in the massage chairs and maybe the sauna, and maybe we'll lift a couple weights. So we're just going to go anyway. And I know you don't feel like going. There's some times where I just felt like shit. Sometimes I just beat up from a couple days before. And so I'll go to the gym, and then I'll just go sit in the massage chair, and the massage chair will work me out. I'll go sit in the jacuzzi, or not the jacuzzi, the sauna. The sauna will start loosen up all those muscles. And then I'll be like, I'll go do a machine, And I'll do a machine, and then something about me walking in that place, like stuff just kicks into gear.
Absolutely.
And pretty soon you're doing the things, and maybe you're having an off day, so you're maybe not doing everything, but you just kind of go, okay, we'll take the weight down 20 pounds, and let's go through the motions, and at least doing something. But then you're not sitting at home kicking yourself, going, I'm such a lazy jerk.
Could have gone to the gym. Yeah, no, just taking out the guesswork, just force yourself there. You don't have to, run a mile or do anything too intensive, but just start warming yourself up, and it feels easier as you go. I love that.
Yeah, sometimes I just go, I don't have my bathing suit with me, so I'll just go sit next to the jacuzzi and I'll put my legs and feet in the water. And boy, that gets, the blood going and your feet kind of relax. And there's a lot of, what do they call it, chakra points in your feet. Oh, yeah. So sometimes that just kind of gets you going. You're like, I kind of feel like doing whatever. But it's kind of like one of those old things. Half the battle is showing up. It's kind of that same way for the gym.
Absolutely. I feel the same way when I get off of work. Half the time I don't want to exercise, and I just force myself to get into my workout gear. Once I'm all dressed up, and it's what am I going to do now? I have nothing else to do but actually do the work.
Go to the gym. Yeah. And I love to go at night, in the middle of the night. Like I kind of have my own schedule, so I can do that. But I really like to go at night when it's just me and there's 5 other people in the gym. I really enjoy that time. I don't have to fight anybody for weights or wait for anybody, and I can kind of just mosey about the gym. I don't have to rush myself too much because I'm trying to catch whoever gets off the next machine, and I really enjoy it. I don't know if I could move into a gym and just kind of live there and just kind of let's go lift some stuff every now and then. Maybe that's what I should do. Having a home thing does. So let's move on from your book to what you do on your website and some of the services that you offer and how you do that over there.
Sure. Yeah. I have a little bit of everything going on. We do individual services, one-on-one, another an hour session. We also do group sessions. We have workshops. There's a program, a 3-month program, so a 90-day program where you can get really intensive with it, stay consistent. That's where you're going to see the most results. And there's a lot more in the works. I'm working on some more programs to help better my clients and really streamline the process.
There you go. Looks like you got quite a few different variations of health. So you got health history intake, returning single health consultation, birth chart, and life purpose reading. So some people are like into that sort of stuff and maybe trying to help figure out their life purpose and things.
Yes. Yep. Just asking questions about, again, I'm not going to tell anyone what their life purpose is, but we'll go through and I'll ask the right questions and they can draw those conclusions for themselves.
There you go. My life purpose is never drink Mountain Dew again. Dude, I got to tell you, after quitting Mountain Dew, and every now and then I'll just go have one for shits and giggles, like really rare, like once every 6 months. And I'm just like, how in the hell did I consume 10 to 15 of these a day? I seriously was going through cases of it.
Does your body start kind of like shaking on you just with the
probably it just tastes like puke and it was even worse that I used to mix it with vodka, and I gave it vodka too. That was really important. I started noticing how much your body bloats, and what your body does is when you drink a whole lot, on some Friday night or something, your body will start storing water because you're dehydrating it. So if you're going to keep doing this for a couple more days, we don't know what you're doing, we're going to store water. And so I would blow it up and be like, ooh, I feel like and then I just feel awful. My energy would be down. I just kind of feel dehydrated for 3 days, no matter how much. I mean, it used to be a game that I could play with vitamins and B vitamins and what's those other things, potassium and salt and stuff, electrolytes. But then it just became like those weren't working anymore either. It's like, we're just going to put you through a personal, ugly pain, misery, and dragging for 3 days if you want to have a couple hours of fun on Friday. And so I was like, okay, I get the message. Get the message. We did this for 20 years. We had our fun. Fun time's over. Let's enjoy life. And, you just started listening to your body and getting in tune. I think there's something really important to getting in tune to your body. And that's kind of when my changes started to happen, when I started making changes.
That's really important and it's super powerful. I can relate. I used to be a bartender. I worked at a microbrewery. Beer did not do good things for this body. I looked a lot older than I do today. I've cut out alcohol as well, and it's been one of the best things that I've done for just in general how my body feels on a day-to-day basis.
And it's so funny when I go out now, like bartenders hate me because I always order Cokes. or Sprites. I'll have a Sprite with a lemon lime on it. And you didn't drink anything? And I'm like, I don't drink anymore. And they always give you that look like, oh, you're a recovering alcoholic. I get it. And I'm like, no, I'm actually fine. I just quit it voluntarily. And then they really look at you askance going, are you serious? What's wrong with you? What kind of weird person are you? You gave up alcohol just
for fun?
just because you were tired of hangovers? Like, what kind of weirdo are you? But it's so wonderful, and I tell people, get rid of it. I mean, it's basically the way you get drunk is you toxify your brain and body. You poison it.
Absolutely. Your brain's swelling. That's,
yeah. And so my brain swells enough as it is with all the stupid shit I think of and slamming my head against the wall every day with all the craziness on social media. You have a Purposeful Health 90-day program, a healthy home rescue, custom office 6-week program for health coaching as well, designed around a workplace. So helping professionals be good then.
Absolutely. Help a whole office get more holistically healthy. I think a lot of times, post-COVID even, our office environments can be pretty bad for our health, quite frankly. And it doesn't take much to make some small adjustments to fix that and have a space that doesn't feel like triggering for our central nervous system to go into work. So I want to help everyone feel happy and healthy at their workspace.
There you go. And that might get some better production out of people too.
Absolutely. That's what that's all about. It's a good investment for the business for sure.
Get that production out of those peoples. Give us a run out to tell people how they can onboard with you and inquire about your services, get involved with them, how they can order your book at .coms, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. Yeah. Purposefulhealth.com is my website. The services page will show you everything that I have to offer. I'm always available to talk more if you have any questions before jumping on into a program, but I promise you wouldn't regret it. And the book, Purposeful Health, is available on Amazon. It'll be soon to come out on audiobook as well. So
there you go. Congratulations on the book. And thank you for coming on the show, Katie. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks, Mountains, for tuning in. Order up the book wherever fine books are sold. Purposeful Health, an intentional guide to personalized wellness, out February 7th, 2024. And I got to tell you guys, if you adopt these principles, change your health, learn how to get a better mindset, it will change your life and you will be so much happier with yourself. There's nothing more miserable than I don't know, just living unhealthy. It was the most horrible thing to do. And I'm so glad that one day I just got sick of it and just said, I'm not doing this anymore. And a lot of doesn't have to do so much with your diet. I mean, it does, but also has to do with your mindset, your beliefs, and everything else. So check out Katie's work. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss won the TikTokity, and you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Chris Voss. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And that should have us out. Great show, man. A lot of fun.
Thank you so much.